Spare tire carrier on. We have our gasketing in between here, between the hinges and the body. And also we have our handle on. A little piece of rubber there. A little rubber here. When the door opens, it hits this. Rubber cushion down in there to hold it. And also the spring. The grill has been mounted back in. It will be, the badges will go back on as well. Toyota badge, diesel badge, things of that nature. The buckets will go back in. Obviously the bezel will go on. So bezel on a Land Cruiser goes around the, say, the headlight here. And this bezel is painted in the Syngus white color. Now there's been a lot of discussion about the color of this bezel, and we have done a lot of research, called other competitors in the business and other restorers of Land Cruisers, and everybody pretty much agrees that it's a Syngus white color. Shield frame with the brand new glass back in it. Looks real sharp. The rag sits up there just because if we open the hood, we have it rest against the back of the windshield. The wiring for the wiper motor has been installed as well. There's a number of other things there on the dash. We've shown you that several times. And just to get a sense of what we're looking at, we do have the wiper motor cover here ready to go back on. I think we even have a brand new gasket for that. There were only 5 gaskets in the United States. Put things back on this truck. We have brand new from the factory Toyota wiper blades. Seeing here are the seat belts going back in, and we're putting them back in their brackets and stock locations. And again, we've seen that the seat belts have been restored. They look fantastic sitting in here. You can see that recoils, which are typical for the front for any Land Cruiser pretty much from 1973 and on, but these back ones are very unique. They actually create a bracket right from the factory, and we've put that right back into stock location. And the actual seat belt looks good up here. You can even see where it harnesses into the top there. So that looks sharp. We actually have one of the seats also contemporarily in for a good fit to check out where everything's going to go on the floor. So the seats are starting to go back in, as well as the trim pieces around the quarter panels and door and hardtop, excuse me. This is really truly what makes the LX the LX, are these pieces that go back in. And you can see it there, Hank's working that, the way that goes in. We have them nicely painted and they look really brand new, fantastic. And you can see behind that he has the piece that he's working on back there. They affix to the floor down here. Watching the vapor barrier go back on, and this is kind of an interesting item on a Land Cruiser that I've always felt was kind of weird. But it's a factory setup, and what Hank is doing here is he's putting on this opaque type plastic, which is originally used. It's an opaque, not a clear plastic. Again, you never see this, but you know, if you take it apart, it's nice to have it look original. And he's putting on this a glue to glue it back on, and it just makes a vapor barrier between the outside of the door and the inside here. Obviously, the door panel will go back on. He's custom cut this around all the different items. We've repainted all the locks. We have our stock hardware on there, so that's going along nicely. We're also working on putting on brand new runs and wind laces and things of that nature that are going back in. We have another one to go back in here on the outside. You can see that Hank is doing the exact same thing over here on these doors, working on those as well as the door goes back together. So things are coming on. We're also putting things like things back on the dash, in the dash, things of that nature. Another piece that I haven't shown you lately would be the center console. Has gone back in. Looks sharp. Door striker's on. That looks good. We also have installed two of the pieces of the glass in the back here. We're looking for new gaskets to arrive here for the glass. We're reusing a lot of the glass. We're not able to find brand new, but the glass here is in fine shape, and we can still see that it has the decal in there. But that's looking good. We also have rear tail light assemblies have gone on and converted to 24 volt. These are a 12 volt US unit, but it's exactly like a 24 volt except for some of the wiring, and we've just made the wiring occur back behind there.